If you're wondering if you're ready to buy your own very first horse, this is the video you need. I want to start by telling you a little bit of a story, and this is a story that unfortunately is very common for me, and I have been through many different iterations of a very similar story, just like the one I'm about to tell you. So I got a call one time by a very sweet and very well-meaning person who had a horse with a dangerous bucking habit, and they wanted me to come out to fix this bucking habit. And I always go through a quick little assessment when a horse is bucking because I believe that behavior is communication. And so when a horse is bucking, often the most common reason is pain. Well, this horse had been examined by a veterinarian and was having no pain. So then my second kind of reason that a horse might be bucking is generally some kind of psychological pain, fear of pain, or maybe they're fear of something else, or they don't understand, or they're feeling frustrated. And so that manifests as a buck in the horse. And then the third reason, which is the one that everyone always wants to jump to, is actually because they just are like being sassy or playful or kind of intentionally bucking because they think it's something that's going to throw us off. But generally, that's the least common reason for a horse to be bucking. So I went to assess this horse, and immediately it was very clear to me that there was actually nothing wrong with the horse at all. And there also wasn't anything wrong with the owner, so don't get me wrong here. She had the best of intentions, but she didn't know what she was doing. And she was super green and had inadvertently, accidentally given this horse a bucking habit because she was making some pretty big mistakes that were leading to big problems. I've also seen this happen with people that didn't catch a horse colicking in time and had a really unfortunate outcome. I've seen this happen with people who bought a horse that they couldn't even get on at all. And what the kind of common thread is here is people with the best intentions and the biggest hearts. Often they end up with rescues or off-track thoroughbreds or Mustangs, horses that really need a lot of help. And they have the best intentions and they get these horses and they then end up in way over their heads because they don't know what to do. So my hope with this video is to help prevent that story from being your story. If you're new here, I'm Ruby and I'm a whole horsemanship trainer. I help horses and their humans to find a deeper connection and to build a better bond so that you can enjoy each other that much more. Today, we're going to be talking about what to do if you think you're maybe ready to buy a horse, but you're not quite sure yet. These are the 4 things that I need you to ask yourself before you make that big leap. So, okay, let's jump into the first one. So the first one is kind of the simplest one to answer, and that is, have you been riding for at least a year? The reason that I like the framework of at least a year is because generally in the course of a year, you're going to see a lot of behavioral things, you're going to see a lot of medical things, and you're going to get a sense for some of the maintenance stuff that comes up throughout the year with the horses that you're riding in your lessons, as an example. And you're also going to hopefully have the chance over the course of a year to ride several different types of horses and learn a little bit about what you like about horses, what you don't like about horses, and help you kind of start narrowing down the type of horse that you want for yourself. One example of this is a family that I work with that ended up with a really, really forward, super high energy horse. And what they were looking for was a sort of lazy, just walk around buddy that they could just kind of have with the little kids in their lives, and they could just kind of enjoy the trails. And they didn't realize that lazy for an off-track thoroughbred is still a lot faster than a lazy walk around horse that they wanted to just enjoy having around. So that's the kind of thing that you will learn over the course of a year in your lessons. You'll also most likely get the chance to see kind of the general maintenance routine for a horse when they get vaccinations, the farrier, etc. You'll also probably get a chance to talk to other horse owners about some of the struggles that they've had and some of the problem solving that they've had to do. And that will also help to kind of just inform your decision a little bit more. So I generally say a year is really important. The second question is, do you have support? And this can look like a trainer, but also knowing who your veterinarian is going to be, who your farrier is going to be. Do you have friends at the barn that you can call to give your horse their bucket if you're running late, or to take care of your horse and you go out of town? These are all really important things that you need to have in place before you get a horse. So what does your support system look like? Are there people in your life that you can count on or call? I remember one time when I was a teenager, I had a horse that I thought was choking, and I was just so grateful that I had a huge long list of people that I could call and say, let me send you a video. Is this an emergency? Do I need to call the vet? And turned out the horse was not choking. Everything was fine. But it was really helpful to have people to help talk me down in that situation. And I always recommend that you make sure you have your support system in place before you bring your horse home. The third question you need to ask yourself is, do you have a plan? Do you have a budget for your time and your money? Because horses are very expensive and they also require a lot of time and energy on a daily basis. And so making sure that you actually have time for this and that you are aware of what you're going to be sacrificing is really important. I've heard people say that we all have the same 24 hours in the day, and it's not really about whether or not you have the time, but more about, are you willing to make the time? So, are you willing to cut out maybe the yoga class you normally go to, or maybe shave down the time that you spend with friends, or I don't know, spend a little less time cleaning your house, like something that can, where can you take a little away so you have more room to give to this horse in terms of your time? And then in terms of budget, I always tell people to budget for at least $1,000 a month per horse. And realistically, most months depending where you are, you probably won't spend that much money, but there might be months that you do. And so it's really important to make sure that you have that much money available to you for the months that you need it. Especially during like the spring and fall when your horse needs their teeth done and hooves and vaccinations and their sheath cleaned all at the same time. And maybe you're also going to a show, that money's going to really come in handy. And I actually have a really helpful tool for budgeting for your horse that I will link below. It's totally free and it will help to walk you through the cost of general maintenance, things like veterinary care throughout the year, hoof care, tack and other expenses, supplements and medications, feed, lessons, clinics, shows, all of the things that you need to be thinking about if you are looking to dive into this whole horse thing. And then the fourth thing, if you are here, I think we already hopefully know the answer, but are you actually kind of in a place where you're questioning whether or not you're ready to buy a horse? I often find the people that are like 100% yes, I'm ready are generally the ones that are actually not ready and they don't know how much they don't know. And if you find yourself on the other side of that, questioning whether or not you're ready, you probably are. Because if you're questioning it, it tells me that you have a deep and accurate understanding of just how all consuming horses are and how much they really need from you and how much you're going to have to give to them. Just coming in with a really clear expectation for yourself and for your horse is going to set you off on the right foot. I hope all of that was really helpful to you. And if you're looking for even more depth on answering some questions about your first horse, I have a whole playlist about that, which I will link. And I also have a first year with your new horse course in which I have poured all of the information that I think you're going to need for your first year with a new horse to help you with all of the things that might come up and all of the most common problems and troubleshooting that I see. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, make sure to hug your horse for me.